Hey, what's up, speaker files? Wellington here, and welcome to this video. Not too long ago, LG released these speakers, the Xboom PK3, PK5, and the PK7. They were good sounding speakers as far as sound quality, but the only downside to them was they're not as loud. They are a little bit soft in comparison to the speakers in their size or their categories. So that kind of was a holdback for most people. But a couple days ago, LG put out firmware updates to their speakers, the PK5 and the PK7 here, because the PK3 was not really suffering with that as much as these two guys here. So I'm going to show you how to do that, and we're going to get a sound sample in comparison of the old firmware in the new firmware and see how much of a big difference there is between the two firmwares. But before we get into that, here is how you can update your speaker. Okay, so to update the speaker, you will either need the Music Flow app or the LG Xboom app. Either one of them will work. I will be using the Music Flow app right here. Okay, so make sure the speaker is turned on and is connected to your phone, just so the app can detect it. Once the speaker is displayed in the app, go to the menu on the top left corner, then settings, and down at the device version info is where you will know if you have the latest firmware or not, which I don't have the latest firmware on my PK5 like you can see here. So just tap the icon on the right, and here they tell you to plug your speaker in and keep your phone closed. But they also warn you that once you do this update, there is no going back. So make sure it's exactly what you want to do. But if you're good with that, just go ahead and hit OK. The app will download the firmware, send it to the speaker, install it, and the speaker will turn off after the installation is done, so don't freak out. And after turning my speaker back on and we go back into the app, you can now see that we are now running the latest firmware on the speaker. And that's good, but there is one more step left to finish it up. Let's go to sound effects, and there, right under enhanced bass, we now have a new checkbox for sound boost. This was not there on the old firmware. Check that box to apply the sound boost, and to do so, the speaker is going to turn off. Just turn it back on and the sound boost will be applied, and we are pretty much done here. And if you choose to use the Xboom app, the layout is a little bit different, but the steps are pretty much identical, and it's also easy to use, as you can see here. And that's how you update the speakers. Now, I recorded the PK5 before updating it and after updating it, and this is the sound difference between the old firmware and the new firmware. Okay, so as you could tell, there's quite a big difference as far as loudness. Okay, so that's the PK5. How about the PK7 right here? Here is the sound difference between the two firmwares.
This is as good as I can be. Why isn't it enough to be faithful and also be the hero? the party.
So before the new firmware, I did a dB meter reading, and from about 1 foot away from the speaker, I was able to get 93 dB at maximum volume out of the speaker. After the firmware update, I got 101 dB. That is pretty big, about what, 8 dB difference between the two. From the old firmware and the new firmware, they made it 8 dB louder. That is pretty big, and I'm happy about that. The only thing you lose between that is at maximum volume, you don't have that much bass anymore like it was when you were on the old firmware. But again, if it's not that usable outside, what's the purpose of having all that bass and it's not even that loud? So I think they made a good call here, most especially on this speaker right here, because it's now more of a contender with the other guys like the Xtreme 2 and the XP41. So I think they did a good call. It's now a speaker that I would recommend to anyone looking for, you know, a loudspeaker for using outside, and you know, something comparable to those two guys, the Xtreme 2 and the XP41. This is in the same ballpark right now. So that's it from me today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this video useful. If you liked it, give it a like. If you didn't like it, leave a dislike. I just want to get some sort of feedback from you because you watched the video. Anyways, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. Peace.